because I'm not perfect. So if I mess up somewhere, if I go too high in the fade, if I say the wrong word in the studio, like, come on now, like, you gotta be a master of your own craft and a master of your own work, so you gotta fix it. And that's just like with life, I feel like. So the more you live, the more you see, you know what I mean? We can't go back and fix things, but we can correct ourselves, like, for the future steps. So, like, that's what it is.
I like that. And I really like what you said, like, it's about being present with the emotions that are there. Like, if you're sad, like, be okay with being sad, because being sad is a part of the process. Like, you being in that sad energy is probably going to bring you to a certain awareness that maybe creates like a whole hook for you, a whole bar, where it's like that might be your next hit song, and you would have never even been in that energy. You would have never been able to channel that creative energy if you wasn't in that emotion at the time.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of TTALK, where it is you plus me plus a lovely cup of tea. And today we are back with another episode. If you guys are new here, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Nala Asa Shakur, also known as Tyler A. Norman. I am the author of the book Love Starts Here. This book takes you down just a life-changing journey of learning how to love yourself from the inside out, and not just love yourself just the simple way, but down to energy and how to, you know, cleanse your energy and take care of all your energy bodies. So if you want to read more about this book, check it out, buy it. I'll link that down below. If you guys are new to Tea Talk, this is a safe and a sacred space where we sip our tea and we talk the real tea, which is how to heal thyself, okay? So today is a special episode because we have a guest today, okay? Give it up for our special guest, Mark.
Thank you. My name is Mark. You can follow me on the internet, guys. Fresco. I'm an artist. I cut hair here in the city, but mainly I be on my music. It's positivity, period. And that's it, man. I'm just here to have a good conversation. You know what I mean? Share some vibes, drink some tea. That's what we're here for. Have a good talk.
That's what's up. So I'm glad to have you here. So we're just gonna get into, you know, the regular Tea Talk episode, guys. We got some updates at Tea Talk, okay? We got some microphones, you know. If y'all have been here from the jump, and shout out to the people who are subscribed, people who have checked out Tea Talk, listened, reposted, and supported this podcast in any type of way. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. And if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe down below. If you're on YouTube, follow Instagram, TikTok, all the places that we have Tea Talk. Please support our podcast as we are just expanding and growing and just elevating in so many ways. This podcast has really like grown from little baby steps, and it's just the small things, just the small ways that it elevates just makes me so happy. Like when I first got here to the studio, it was like, wow, like I came up another level. Like just getting microphones, it's like, okay, y'all, shit, like my audio is better now. Like, and then just thinking like, it's only been a couple years since I really birthed this idea. It's like, where can we be in like 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you know? If we just keep on going. So maybe that's going to be the topic of Tea Talk today. Maybe we're going to pick up on that. But first, we're going to, first, pause the video if y'all don't have y'all tea. We have our tea, so get you some. This is part of the healing process.
You put yourself more, you know, scandalous.
I mean, maybe.
Because I think you did that.
Because I don't be knowing if people are like a tea person, so like.
And it smells good. You said it's what?
So we're sipping on some ginger, lemon, turmeric, and honey tea.
That's what's up.
Yeah, perfect for like the time of the year that we're in. It's good for cold and flu season. Gets rid of mucus, boosts your immune system, detoxifies the body, all sorts of things, alkalizes you. It's just a great tea.
And I need this because people be bringing their sick kids in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Coughing. You feel me?
It's that season. But yeah, so without further ado, we're going to do a little mini meditation. We're going to get into a prayer, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So y'all know how this works. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Allow yourself to be open to receive the message today. Deep breath in through the nose. more in through the nose. Pause. Out through the mouth. Thank you, Mother, Father, Creator. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this space. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you for this voice, this guest, this studio, this everything that we have. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to receive a divine message from the Most High. Thank you for the wisdom that is coming through today. Thank you for the creativity, the collaboration. Thank you for the ideas and everything that we need to hear today. Thank you for allowing us to receive such a divine message that guides us and that guides everybody watching, listening to this podcast. Through whatever we're going through in life right now, it gives us insight, gives us clarity, gives us affirmation and understanding as to how we can move forward in our alignment and towards our highest self. Thank you, God. Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay, let's get into the message today.
Most definitely.
So I'm gonna pull a few cards, but honestly, I think I kind of want to continue on like what I started talking about. Just like, you like it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you. So I kind of want to get into like what I started talking about, just the little wins on our journey. Because I feel like, I don't know, with social media these days, we're so used to people like announcing these big old like, oh my gosh, I just opened up a new whole studio and it's, I own everything and this and this and now I have this. And like we have just like idolize these people off like social media and like people that are older than us, way older, people that is like 35, like way into their adulthood, or even people who, you know, they may have been handed down some of those things, like, or they're just at a different phase of their life. And I feel like social media has caused us to look at people's accomplishments and like minimize our own, to where like we don't celebrate our small wins anymore. Like, just little things, like I was saying, like, oh, I got a new microphone. Like, some people would be like, man, I should have been had that. Like, I've been waiting on this, I've been doing this, But it's like, we have to be where we are in our journeys. Like, and I know you're a barber. How long have you been being a barber?
Ooh, I probably started, like, messing around when I was, like, 16. Then, like, I didn't really take it seriously till I was older, probably, like, 20, 21. I know I've probably been in the shop now for, like, 5 years. So, along with that, and the whole time, like, doing music and stuff, it's been a process, because you, like, meeting different people, especially for me, because I grew up, like, from middle school on up, so I was homeschooled. So, it's been different from, like, you know what I mean, not being around a lot of people, being to yourself. And now your occupation is just like, you constantly like around people, around different personalities, and like, so half the part of my life, it's like I wasn't around it, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's cool, I like it from that aspect, and it teaches me a lot, and I really see like how important like barbers like are to like the community and stuff like that. So like it's dope to actually be a part of, you know what I mean? So
that's what's up. That's what's up. I'll fuck with that. It's like, I want to kind of get into just what I was speaking on, like, just in our journeys, no matter how we've been, wherever we started, wherever we got to focus on it for a long time, or whether we took breaks, or whether we've been going straight through for this amount of years, whatever it is, Spirit is put on my mind to, like, speak on how a lot of times, so I put the cards, self-sabotage, manifestations, rage, and then I'm going to talk about this one later. A lot of times, we self-sabotage ourselves, not accepting where we are in our journey. So, like, just like I was speaking on, like, let's say, if I'm in a whole different, it's a whole different energy as if, like, I'm getting new microphones, and I'm like, man, I should have been had this, like, like, finally, but I really need this, and this. Like, I really can't wait to get there, and there. That's a whole different vibration than, like, oh my gosh, wow, like, I've been making baby steps, I've been slowly improving, like, I'm so happy I got these microphones. This wishing, like, you were somewhere else as opposed to where you are, and then the energy of accepting where you are, that is what, like, blocks and opens up the pathway to your manifestations coming in. Because it's like, your present energy is what creates everything. That's what attracts everything to you. So if we're constantly in like but I need this though, but I don't have this, and I'm not here, and I'm not there, And it's like, well, okay, but you're just furthering along your journey. Because it's like, you're not learning the lesson to accept, like, where you are. Because, like, I'm sure you becoming a barber, and which one would you say you're more passionate about? Like, music or barbering?
Oh, that's tough. If I'm gonna ask you this honestly, I think I'm passionate about creativity because I like creating. So like barber, like that gives you my chance to like create and stuff like that. But of course, music would be my overall dream to be like I want to do my music, but I'm really, I guess that would be it. That would be my answer, music. But when it comes down to everything, like I just love creating.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about creativity then. So like, I kind of want to get into and just hear your perspective about the creative process and how each point is so pivotal and important not to rush through like your creative process, your journey. Because like, even whether you take breaks, whether you put this project aside for this amount of time, at the end you're gonna see why like it took all those moments. Why, what you were supposed to be learning from not working on it. What you were supposed to be learning from working on it super hard or halfway, you know? I kind of just want to hear your perspective about just projects that you have.
That's funny. My bad. It's funny you said that because I feel like a part of this time that I'm going through, because I do have like a project done that I haven't put out yet, and I got other work that I've done that I haven't put out yet. But just what happens, like the life part of like outside of music. You know what I mean? Your car could break down. You know what I mean? You could go through family and emotional stuff, but just what you do with what that energy brings to you. You know what I mean? Like it could be sad, it could be, you know what I mean, traumatic, but like when you put it somewhere, like if I go to the shop and I know the stages of like me doing the faded line of let me set my guidelines in, let me do this, let me do that. I write a song, I know I got a body, a hook, you know what I mean? It's just like, but I gotta enjoy those steps in order for everything to go around and be complete. So like with this life stuff, like if I don't enjoy the fact that like, yeah, I may be sad right now, but I gotta enjoy this feeling of being sad because I know like being sad is the only way I'm gonna know what being happy feel like. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you just gotta take it how it comes, honestly. So like, it just drives it. So you know what I mean? I know because I'm not perfect. So if I mess up somewhere, if I go too high in the fade, if I say the wrong word in the studio, like, come on now, like, you gotta be a master of your own craft and a master of your own work, so you gotta fix it. And that's just like with life, I feel like. So the more you live, the more you see, you know what I mean? We can't go back and fix things, but we can correct ourselves, like, for the future steps. So, like, that's what it is.
I like that. And I really like what you said, like, it's about being present with the emotions that are there. Like, if you're sad, like, be okay with being sad. Because being sad is a part of the process. Like, you being in that sad energy is probably going to bring you to a certain awareness that maybe creates like a whole hook for you, a whole bar. Where it's like, that might be your next hit song. And you would have never even been in that energy. You would have never been able to channel that creative energy if you wasn't in that emotion at the time. And it's like, that's why it's so important, y'all, to like, just be present with life. Because life, we talked about this before we started rolling, like, life be lifing, y'all.
For real.
It's always, when you adult, it's always some shit. Like,
it really is.
It's always some shit, and it be like, just fucking crazy, like, the air don't work. Man. It's like, fuck. Like, the money you was gonna spend on this, this, and this, now you gotta put it here. Now it's like, damn, like, what we gonna do here? It's constantly, like, having to figure shit out and having to adjust to, like, all the different things that happen. And I think that I really believe that alignment, and that's why I said I was gonna come back to this. So this card says alignment, celestial alignment. Choked on my spit a little bit, but like celestial alignment comes from just accepting like where you are. Like right now, I'm low. Right now, I ain't got money to spend on this, this, and this. Right now, I ain't got the resources for this, this, and this. But I'm gonna do with what I have. And with me doing with what I have and being grateful for it and accepting it, that's what is gonna attract what I want and what I desire. Cause like you gotta go through the steps, like the steps.
For real.
And I saw a post on Instagram recently, and I'm gonna kind of go back to like what I said earlier about like social media.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a post, and it was like us like in our 20s.
Right.
You know, how old are you?
Oh, 27. You like, hey, just the 20s is going.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? 20s.
Well, you closer to 30
You
than
feel
20.
me? Say it.
But like,
I still got, I got like 3.5, almost 2 left. But yeah, they gone.
yeah.
They're most definitely gone. That's acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Acceptance. Like, for real, I won't go ahead.
I was gonna say though, like, people like us, just our generation, millennials, and I think we're partially Generation Z or X. I don't know. I think Generation X. Yeah, we Generation X and then partially millennial.
Mm-hmm.
So like, us in our generation, we be seeing everybody on social media like in they 35, almost 40, like with their kids and everything. We be like, oh, they bought a home. They bought a brand new car. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not there yet. I'm not satisfied with my life. But like, even those people will tell you like, no, live your 20s, because it's a whole different ball game up here.
For real.
And it's actually crazy because like this morning when I woke up from not this morning, before here when I woke up from my nap, I was like, life gets better, but it gets harder too.
Most definitely.
At the same time.
For real.
And it's like, that's the kicker.
Exactly.
Because it's like, we want to be here, 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 and here, but we got to understand that we need to learn the lessons, gather the tools, gather everything we need to be able to handle all the bullshit that comes up here. Because life ain't going to stop lifing once our podcast is fully set up, once we have the full barbershop, once we drop our album.
Right.
Life's still gonna be lifing, and it's gonna be lifing even harder.
For real.
Like, so it's like, it's important to be where we are and learn the lessons.
If you can't deal with what you're going through now, how you gonna deal with being successful?
Right, because it take a lot.
It's like, you gotta work 10 times as harder, just to
Mm-hmm.
get 10 times as further. You know what I mean? And then you're never gonna be satisfied with where you're at, so you always have to constantly evolve. You know what I mean? And evolving. People may go, people may stay, you know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna remain forever, so it's like the concept of getting around, it's just like, who can you get attached to, who can you not get attached to, but then you can't really worry about anything, you kind of just gotta go, you know what I mean? And that's the scariest part, because you don't really know who's gonna be here. People you want to be around forever aren't gonna be the people who are gonna be around forever, you know what I mean? Like,
this is true.
that's the process. You know, it's like people like we really tell like every day, like I love you, give them hugs, wish you well, you have my prayers. Damn, you know what I mean? Can you actually think of the day you stopped praying for somebody that you was with every day because you just lost connection, you don't really think about them no more? Like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? So that life should be life.
And I like that you brought up a more like personal side of it, because like I've been talking about like career and your journey with this and this and this, but like just getting into a more like personal aspect of it, like you're right, like we constantly lose and gain people in our lives and lose and gain connections, and we really don't have any control over, like, we don't know who's gonna die, who's gonna stay alive, we don't know what's gonna happen to somebody, we don't know how they're gonna change, how they're gonna evolve, and it's like, that's just, acceptance is really a lot harder than it sounds. Like, yo, just accept where you are. Like, that's easy, like, be a motivational speaker, accept where you are every day, be glad, be happy, like, and it's like, but it really ain't that easy though. It really isn't, especially when you get into like death and like losing people. It's like, it's a lot harder to let go and allow things to transform and to shift and to be in your journey, because sometimes in your journey you're gonna be asking why, like, damn, like, what the fuck, like, God, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? But it's like, I think that's part of the process too, just being patient with, like, sometimes we're not gonna want to be where we are, and we gotta find our happiness in the moment all over again. And it's like, that's a tough part too. That's another part of the journey, that we're not gonna always be in alignment. Sometimes we're gonna have to realign and go all the way to the left to come back. Actually, that's something that my twin, shout out to my twin, love you twin, that's my best friend. Our best friend, one thing she told me, she was like, sometimes we gotta go all the way to the left to come back around to come back to the right. And that's how you make a full circle.
Most definitely.
And it's like, that's how you complete the cycle. That's how you evolve and elevate. Sometimes you gotta go all the way over here just to come back around. And it's like, that's just part of the process.
Okay.
So,
because nothing just ever goes according to plan.
never. Never. And Babe's favorite quote is, not his favorite quote, but he says it all the time. You want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans.
That's a good quote.
Because we really be thinking that we know like what's happening, and like, so we're gonna do this, all right, like that, this is the plan, we about to do this in the next 5 years, and it's like, it's cool to like do that, but normally it like completely goes sideways. Like, but I think that's part of it too, like setting your steps and making that intention, like, okay, I'm gonna guide myself, but I'm also gonna allow myself to be led at the same time by a higher power.
Exactly.
So